Hello everyone, I'm Lieutenant Ryan Flood, Public Information Officer at the Greenville County Sheriff's Office. This critical incident community briefing will provide you with information about an officer-involved shooting that took place on November 7th, 2023. The information in this video will hopefully give you a better understanding of what we know occurred at this time in the investigation. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office conducts comprehensive investigations relating to officer-involved shootings, and these investigations may require our team of investigators to conduct multiple interviews, review audio and video recordings, and possibly analyze forensic evidence. Our office does not draw any conclusions about whether the deputies' actions adhered to the law or were compliant with our agency's policy until the investigation has been thoroughly completed. It is important to note that while the investigation is ongoing, our understanding and determination of the incident might change in the event new information is brought forth and new evidence is discovered. The incident you're about to watch involves law enforcement officers from two different agencies, the Greenville County Sheriff's Office and the Department of Homeland Security. And because of this, we will only be providing available camera footage that is property of the GCSO. Furthermore, all faces of non-GSO personnel, law enforcement working in an undercover capacity, and any bystanders will be blurred out. A brief disclaimer: the content you're about to see and hear may be disturbing to some viewers. When deputies are put in a position that requires them to use physical force to effect an arrest or defend themselves against an attack, the actions can be graphic and difficult to watch. Additionally, some of the language heard in this video might be viewed as strong and offensive. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for young children and sensitive viewers. On November 7th at 2:42 p.m., deputies with the Greenville County Sheriff's Office SWAT team were requested to assist the Department of Homeland Security with an ongoing narcotics investigations being conducted by their agency. Sheriff's Office SWAT team members were requested to provide security during a narcotics transaction that was scheduled to take place at 100 Carver Street in Greenville. Once on scene, and before HSI investigators made contact with the subject of their investigation, SWAT team members staged inside of a bedroom at 100 Carver Street so they could monitor the undercover operation through video surveillance provided by the Department of Homeland Security. As such, that video surveillance is property of Homeland Security and thus will not be provided in this critical incident community briefing. Shortly before 3 p.m., the subject, who has been identified by the Greenville County Coroner's Office as 34-year-old Justin Barrett McCarroll, arrived at 100 Carver Street, where, unbeknownst to him at the time, he was met by undercover agents with the Department of Homeland Security. During the undercover operation, one HSI agent stepped outside the back door, leaving the back door open. At this time, the subject pulled the door shut and locked it, leaving him inside with the one undercover agent. At this time, hidden SWAT team members heard a commotion and the repeated yelling of the word police. In fear agents' lives were in danger, SWAT team members exited the room and encountered the armed subject in the hallway located at the front door of the residence. The subject raised the firearm and pointed it at deputies, at which time one deputy fired his issue firearm in defense of himself and other law enforcement on scene. The subject then went out of the front door and dropped the firearm while falling on the ground. Once on the ground, the subject continued moving around and refused to comply with law enforcement commands, and as such, a second deputy deployed a taser before moving in to secure the subject. Here is the body camera footage from one of the deputies on scene. As noted in prior critical incident community briefing segments, when cameras are suddenly activated, the recording goes back to capture previously occurring material. However, the audio does not begin until 30 seconds into the activation.
Is he good in there?
Is he good?
That Hey, they're all right? They're all right? Okay.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Two shot.
Yeah, he's shot. He's shot.
Right, hey, cuff him up, then let's get him on the side.
He's still trying to come up.
All right, guys, is that okay?
I got it.
Here is body camera footage from two other deputies on scene. On the first of the next two clips, the body camera was activated following the shooting, and upon the system going back 30 seconds, the recording did not begin until the middle of the incident.
Hey, they're all right? They're good. Okay. Oh, your way, Bobby. Roll my way. Rolling to the right. Two shot. Yeah, he's shot. All right, hey, cuff him up, then let's get him on the side.
He's still trying to come up. Roll this arm out.
Okay?
I got his arm.
Hey, cuffs out.
Everybody's getting
Cuffs
out.
out. Get John DeVille getting an ambulance on the way. Hey, Tony, you got gloves?
Get that arm,
Hey, cuffs coming out.
Hey, any of us shot. Any of us hurt.
It's all them, I think.
Once in custody, GCSO medics provided first aid to the subject until EMS arrived on scene and transported him to the hospital. At the hospital, the subject succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced deceased at 4:12 p.m. Agents from the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division were requested and responded to the scene as standard for all officer-involved shootings. The suspect's loaded 9mm handgun was collected from the scene and seized as evidence.
Hello, I'm Greenville County Sheriff Hobart Lewis. We understand the community has a vested interest in learning about the details concerning officer-involved shootings, and as such, this critical instant community briefing was intended to provide you with information showing you what we know occurred at this time in the investigation. The South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, along with the 13th Circuit Solicitor's Office, will continue their investigation to determine if the deputy's actions fell within the scope of the law. Apart from SLED, the Greenville County Sheriff's Office Office of Professional Standards conducted an internal investigation to determine if the deputy's actions were consistent with the strict guidelines and standards outlined in the Sheriff's Office Use of Force policy. At the conclusion of their investigation, the Office of Professional Standards determined the sole deputy who fired their weapon was justified to use deadly force, according to the Sheriff's Office Use of Force policy. If you would like further information on our Use of Force policy, please visit our website at gcso.org, click on the General Orders link found under the Resource tab. Thank you for taking the time to view this critical instant community briefing.